Relatively youthful looking color here. Been dealing with a bunch of aged stuff today, so this is kind of a relief. You know, it's a pinkish edge to it, medium dark to medium ruby bowl. There doesn't seem to be any, there's some color in the legs, but mostly this looks like it's a barely developing, not to mature yet, red wine with moderate color to it. This kind of color, it could be any grape on the planet, basically. Oh, interesting. Well, this will be fun. This has a pretty healthy dose of Brettanomyces to it, so it smells like animal butt, you know, and a little bit of Band-Aid, but animal butt. Which animal? Not saying. That's up to you. But there's plenty of oak to this thing, so, you know, immediately already heaping up my my guesswork onto the New World side. But let's take it a piece at a time. Let's not get in a hurry. Dried flowers. I get black fruits. That Brettanomyces, you know, the Brett we call it, is moderate plus intensity. So the whole wine seems to be moderate plus intensity, and youthful to developing. I've got black cherry. I've got black plum, kind of skins and paste and jelly. I've got plenty of oak. Spices are clove and nutmeg and allspice. I don't think we get all the way to mocha or cocoa or anything like that. Yeah, actually we do just a little bit, not a lot, a little bit. Somebody hit it with a pretty healthy dose of oak. In terms of flowers, I've talked about that already. Fruits are all black. Some red fruits, some dried strawberry skins. Dried raspberry, just more oak than anything else. Seems to be all European oak. Herbs and vegetables, not much to speak about. Dry, no sugar, plenty of tannins, plenty of extraction. Trick is really going to be figuring out whether this is Pinot Noir or Syrah. I mean, that's where I'm coming from on the whole thing. Dry, tannins are medium plus to high. They're a little fuzzy, a little gritty, so I'm really dealing in the New World on this one. The Brett messes up the finish a little bit, but, you know, also makes it complex. Kind of Band-Aid meets, you know, leather, things like that. Plenty of black fruits to it. Stays pretty much in the black fruit spectrum, a little bit of blue fruits, blueberry, black plum, black cherry. Goes that direction. Acids seem to be moderate minus. Tannins, as we talked about, are kind of gritty and furry, moderate plus. Alcohol is 14 plus. The fruits themselves, this could be a Pinot Noir. It's just somebody's maybe slightly overmade this wine. Tried a little too hard, let the grapes get a little too ripe. Obviously have some dirty barrels lingering in their cellar. Maybe they think it's a good thing. You know, it's up to you. Everybody likes different things. I'm not a big Brett fan, but I used to be, and maybe I'll become one again someday. So I'm not going to, you know, complain loudly about Brettanomyces because it's in the mouth of the beholder. But I think this could have been dialed down a little bit. 07 Oregon Pinot Noir. Bright fruit hanging in there. Strawberry, raspberry kind of hanging around the edges with all that black fruit. It's a pleasant wine, even pretty wine, depending upon what you like. The oak is a little too much for me. I get really a vanilla and drying sensation throughout the finish of the wine. So while it has a finish that has some length to it, it's not fruity enough for this palate. A little too dry and dusty for this palate. Okay, let's see what we got. See how this went. All right, we are, I'm afraid we are nowhere near. My bad. This is the Dido La Universal Monsant 2004. I'm just going to go with screw the pooch on this one, you know. but I'm going to have more because I kind of like this wine now that I know what it is. You know, what I did was the classic error. I got all caught up in the fruit character and the oak character, and I stopped looking at the earth. You know, you got to pull every single note out of these things. As I sit here and taste the earth on it, I get a distinct kind of, I call it a greasy rock note sometimes that I get out of slate and things like that. It's not a limestoney note. And as I was looking for earth, I was thinking about limestone. Because I didn't find it, I moved on. Maybe there's some limestone here, but there's a distinctly dry, earthy, rocky, not dusty, earthy. But you know, I talked about the Brettanomyces, and I'm more likely to find that in the Old World. So I think I had the right notes. I think I just missed them. And then I think the really critical notes that I should have been looking for. I mean, Oregon Pinot Noir, really, you know, like whose, but. I was caught up in what is really, I think, very pretty fruit, and lots of oak, and maybe too much oak. And so I stopped looking for the earth notes, and therein lay my downfall. So there you have it. I surrender.